All right. So I'm here today with Inge, and Inge made a huge step in her life a year ago, and she decided to start traveling the world. So Inge, I'm really curious, what made you decide to go on this huge world travel?
The main reason was that how sad it may sound that I never felt completely home in the Netherlands. I had a great home. I had many friends. I had family looking after me. But it wasn't for me. And I learned that if you're not happy somewhere, then just leave and find a place where you can be happy. And that's what I did.
Wow. Yeah. I so recognize that actually, like they're not feeling completely at home. I'm also from the Netherlands. We're both from the Netherlands. And it's strange, right? It's strange that maybe a feeling that you're having that you don't really recognize that you are like, it's different. We are feeling different, basically. Like a lot of people are accepting the way how we feel, and it must be something with us, or maybe something we can do, or are even settling for less. But I'm really happy that you dove into it and actually just
Yeah.
started this journey of self-discovery as well, and to really see and discover for yourself where in the world you will be happy. Before you left, were you scared, or did you had any anxious feeling, or how did it go for you?
Well, I was really excited to leave. Um, Especially because the plan was to leave a year earlier, but because of COVID, I couldn't.
Yeah,
So it's like, oh my God, I'm staying 1 year extra, and
yeah,
it's only 1 year, but it felt like, oh my God, and it's another year. I was a little bit anxious about how things goes because people can
yeah,
tell you how it was for them, but you are different, so things will be different for you.
yeah,
Especially with how do you travel and how do you meet people? Like I am a really social person, so I wasn't that scared, but still, I am an introvert. So meeting new people everywhere, that's like it costs you a lot of energy. So
yeah.
I was most afraid of that.
Like meeting the people, and how will everything turn out, right? That's
Yeah.
basically like, yeah, that's all part of like jumping into the unknown, being able to let go and really trust like how everything is turning out, meeting new people. Right now you have been traveling for how long?
In 5 days, I have been traveling for 1 year.
Oh wow, it's like almost your anniversary here.
Almost my anniversary, yes. Oh my God.
That's crazy. And one of the reasons you mentioned, like, okay, I really wanted to start traveling because I didn't feel at home in the Netherlands. Did it also make you feel that you were like sort of stuck in life, like in the direction where you want to go, what you will be doing, how would life look like? Was it the same for you?
Well, I always had the feeling that I lived my life on pause
Yeah,
because
so
I
in the
knew that I
past,
wanted
yeah.
something because I knew that I wanted something different, but I couldn't do it. So I was living my life and I was doing good, had a great job, etc. But it wasn't what I wanted, but I didn't really know how to change it. So yeah, I always said, okay, I don't want a 1 year contract, because I don't know what I'm gonna do, etc. So I always live my life on pause until I booked the flight. It was like, okay, I am leaving the 25th of October, and that's it.
That's it. Really, really cool. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you were already preparing yourself slowly for a change. You just were not sure like what this change will look like. And earlier you already mentioned like, yeah, okay, I was more afraid of the how everything will turn out, the meeting of people. Now you're almost traveling for 1 year. And if you look back, how did everything turn out? Like, was it that easy? Was it that difficult? I would love to hear more about it.
It was in the end. It was all really so easy. I started my travels with a friend from home, so I traveled 1 month with her to start it together, which I really recommend because you are new in, at least for me, in the continent of Asia. So it was really nice to have someone you already knew and you could talk about. Um, but after a month she left and I flew to another country, and I flew in really early in the morning, and in the evening I already was with three other girls, and for the next day we had a bicycle tour to Bangkok already arranged, and 3 days after I landed in Thailand, I met a girl, and in the end we traveled 3.5 months together to
Okay.
4 different countries, and I never thought that that would happen, but it did, and I had an amazing time with her, and it was so easy. And even when we traveled together, we still met other people and did activities with other people, and it is so easy. If I would have
Yeah.
known that before, I why worry about it? It's so easy.
Yeah, really, really cool. And like you said before, like for everybody it's differently. You're also an introvert. I'm also an introvert. But again, it's like meeting other people while you're traveling is super duper easy. And I'm really happy that for you as well turned out this way. Before you were might be a little bit scary about it, worry about it, like how will everything turn out. But you have proven that it is easy peasy. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
complicated. And on top of that, you even made like beautiful connections. Hello, traveling for 3.5 months together. That's huge. That means that you guys really like
It
get
is.
along with
Yeah.
each other. It's like you're
Yeah.
making friends for life, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, because we also traveled a month with another girl in Malaysia, and we saw each other back in Indonesia, and she is now in Australia. I'm still in Asia, and we don't have lot of contact, but we know that we will see each other again. And when we call each other, that we have so much to talk about. And I have a new, really, really good friend, and it's so nice. I cannot really explain that. Because when you in your home country, you have your friends you met in high school or in college or with your sports or you doing work time, etc. And here you meet people in a whole other environment. But yeah, it turns out so good. I didn't feel alone at all anytime. So yeah.
Wow. Oh, really, really beautiful. And I always feel that whenever you're traveling, you're always meeting new people, obviously other travelers, right? But I feel that they're more like-minded. They're more into the same vibes. You can have real deep conversations. You can have a lot of laughs. It's a different vibe. It's a different energy. What versus back home, right? I really feel that
For
there's a
sure, yeah.
huge gap, and I think that's one of the main reasons why it's so easy to make those connections, because we're all in for the same, right? We are either trying to figure out what we want in life, or we just want to explore the world and explore different cultures, doing different things. And at the end of the day, we're all stepping outside of our comfort zone, which is just amazing. So looking back, like traveling 1 year, what kind of strengths did you get out of your travel so far? Like how did you change as a person?
Uh, I changed a lot the first 3 months. Um, and I think the most important thing I learned is that you can do it alone. You don't have to wait for other people. You can do anything you want, but you have to do it. And it's okay to do it scared, but you just have to do it. And if it goes wrong, then like my father said, after 3 months, he sent me a letter, or the letter was hidden in my backpack. So he said, you can find it and you can open it now because you are 3 months in. And in that letter, it said that he is so proud that I did it, and that
Yeah.
he hopes that I have a good time, even after 3 months. But he also said you will always have a home with us, and remember that if you want to go home, you you can
Okay.
be home in 2 days, 3 days, because there are planes going. So if you find out that it is not for you, then you just go somewhere else. Or if you don't feel good in one place, then you travel to the next place. It's
Yeah.
up to you. You decide that. So you can do everything.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's all takes one step, like the action step to actually start, doing it. And you're always a plane away from home, wherever home might be for you. So
Yes.
beautifully said. And yeah, you're shining all over the screen here. So I know this question might come as a surprise, but maybe not. You even already answered it for me. Would you recommend anybody going on a trip like this?
For sure. And if you're really scared, then maybe go with someone else, go together. But if you don't have anyone to go with, then go alone. Especially when you're backpacking, you will find people. And I was happy at home. I wasn't sad or anything, but I'm way happier where I am now.
Yeah.
And like I said, you grow so much in a short amount of time, and you make you learn a lifetime. The things I learned here during my travels, I never learned in the over 20 years I lived back home.
Mhm.
So do it, yes.
Yeah, that's already like one big motivation why everybody, should go on a trip like this. Um, you already mentioned like, okay, I feel much happy. I was happy in the Netherlands, but I feel so much more happier where I am right now. Are there any other big changes for you, like how you feel as a person compared to where you're like 1 year ago in the Netherlands?
I was very controlling when I lived back in the Netherlands. So I always made a to-do list. To be honest, I had my whole travel plan written out, and not that strict, but I did had a plan. Okay, this is the order from what country to another I go, and how long will I stay there. And after I think I started in Sri Lanka, I had already booked my flight from Sri Lanka to Thailand, because that was just easier and it was cheaper. But if I didn't have booked my flight yet, I would have stayed longer in Sri Lanka. So the first month throw I threw away the whole plan, and I was like, I'll just see where
No,
I go. If I like it there, then I will stay there longer. If I don't like it, then I'm just gonna leave. It's up to me. I can do whatever I want. So I learned to just let go and go with the flow, and I'll see where I go. It's like I always say now, no plan is the best plan.
I love it.
I don't
Yes.
know where I am next year. I don't know where I am next month. Maybe I fly to the other side of the world, or maybe I stay here. I'll see. I don't know.
Really, really amazing. Yeah, and I feel that's I don't know, there's like a mentality that we are developing when we are traveling. It's like go with the flow. It's like my way to go as well. And I think from a planner, from an organizer to like somebody like, just go with the flow. I have no idea where I will be next year. And it's the same for you. And that gives you this sense of freedom, isn't it? Like
So
feeling
freedom,
so free. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. I could never go back to my old life, and I
Oh,
yeah. I have friends and they say, "Oh, I'm so jealous. I wish I could." And that's bullshit because you can. If
yeah.
you want, you can. So, but you
Yeah.
just have to do it and take the leap and be terrified, but just try it and do it because you will grow. And yeah, like you
Yeah.
only have one life. You have to live it. It's your life. So if you're lucky, we will be on this earth for like, I don't know, 80, 90 years, and that's it.
Sure.
That's it.
You could almost say that like traveling is like an investment into yourself, right? Like if you compare, like you're investing into school, right? Everybody's going to school. And if you compare that to like investing into your travels, it's, I don't know, for me, it was like life changing. Like the gap is huge. Like what you learn on your travels, like from you as a person and about you, it's, you will never ever learn at school. You'll never ever
It
learn at
is true,
school.
but I am really happy that I have a degree, that I did go to school, so that if
Yeah.
it doesn't work out, I do have a good backup plan. So I am really glad
Yeah.
about that, that I did go to, that I did go to, that I did study.
Did study, yes.
So that yeah, so that I have something to rely on. If I
Yeah.
can go back home tomorrow and I will have a job there. So that is really
Feels good.
reassurance. So that's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, feels good. I'm not
Feels
gonna
good.
do it though, but it feels good.
It feels good to have a backup plan,
Yeah.
definitely. But right now you are, I believe, in Thailand, isn't it?
Yes, I am.
Cool. And you're staying there for a longer period of time. Like, how are things looking for you now?
I think I'm gonna stay here until April next year. But if I want to stay longer, then I'm gonna stay longer. If I want to leave earlier, then I will leave earlier. So I think that I'm gonna stay till April. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And um, through traveling, did you also find your passion for diving?
I kinda did.
Or before
Um,
already? Was this like your first time or?
no, it wasn't my first time. My parents, they have a sailboat, so I kind of grew up on the waters, and I didn't feel home in the Netherlands, but I did feel free on the sailboat. So I was way happier the moment we stepped in a car, drove to our boat, and just be on a boat and could go anywhere you wanted. That was pure freedom. So the house was never my home. The boat was always more my home. So I knew that the water that's for me. So almost 2 years ago now, I went to the Caribbean and I did my first dive there, and I knew that I loved it. Didn't know that I wanted to go further in that. I knew that I went to Thailand, and there is a place that's really good for diving, and it's pretty cheap. So I wanted to go there to get my licenses there. And then I just got up in it, and in 2 weeks I did 3 courses, and now 7 months later I am an instructor and I'm working. So yeah.
Amazing, amazing how things can turn out like, and exactly like already recognizing back home that you are, not feeling at home, but already understanding that you feel at home more on the water, like free on the boat. And now making the dots together, like with the diving, being in the water all day. That sounds incredible. You have an amazing half a year ahead of you staying in Thailand. What is your next plan after Thailand? Do you have any idea or just go with the flow?
I do have an idea, but it is still just go with flow. So I don't want to set it
Yeah,
all together.
yeah,
So I really want to go to South America because by that time I will be in Asia for over 1.5 year, and
yeah.
I really want to see another continent as well. I really liked the Caribbean when I was there, and I really want to go to Canada and Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, etc. And as a dive instructor, I can work there as well, so I can earn some money there as well. So what I have in my mind now is after April next year, when I leave Thailand, probably I will go back to Indonesia for a couple of weeks because I really, really like my time there. It's one of my favorite countries in Asia. Then fly back home to the Netherlands for 2 weeks to say hi to my friends and family, and then hop on a plane to either Canada or Mexico or the Caribbean, and then just stay there for a couple of years. I hope.
Amazing. It's like having it like go with the flow and literally having the world at your feet. I think that's the best for everyone. And as long as you are happy, really finding your way, basically traveling around as a diving instructor. Who was thinking that like 1 year ago, right? So things can really
Yeah,
turn, make
I
a
didn't.
huge turn. No, things can really make a huge turn. You never know what's going to come across your path, the things that you will be discovering. Um, do you have any advice for anybody who is thinking about going on a trip like this, traveling for a few months or maybe even a year? What is the one tip that you would like to share with them?
Um, do your research. There are amazing blogs on internet. There are travel accounts. Maybe people in your circle who did kind of the same thing. Ask them questions because it things will be different for you, but you will, if you know a little bit, you will think, okay, so if she can do it, then I can do it because I'm not that special and they are not that special. They just did it. If you have questions, ask them.
Yeah.
But if you don't get an answer on all your questions, then just take that. You will find out along the way. It's not that so many people did it before you, so you will be able to manage. And we have all phones now, so if you miss someone, you can call them. Um, yeah, so that's what I would say. But don't hold back because you are scared or because you are not sure. Because if you're not sure, that's not a yes, that's not a no. So then you should try it. Because if you don't try, you don't know.
True, beautiful advice. And yeah, basically you're saying like, okay, surround yourself with people that have been there already or have traveled already, because that's gonna make it so much easier. Get to, get the support that you need, get all your questions answered. Final question that just came up for me. Did you ever felt homesick over the last year?
No, but I'm not someone who ever experienced that before. Like I did some internships in Europe, but not in the Netherlands, and I've worked in Belgium, so I knew that it would be easier for me.
Yeah,
I do miss my friends, especially because I see on the socials what they are doing, and it is really hard to understand that their life goes on, and my
yeah,
life goes on as well, but it's so different. My friends, they are buying houses. That's I'm not doing that in the upcoming years. Um, so they, I have a friend group, and they do nice things together. And normally I would be there as well. And then I think, oh yeah, I do miss them. So that's why I want to go home for a little bit to see them again. But really homesick, no. And I do miss them, but not enough to go back for them.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's all right to miss people, right? It is okay to miss
It
them. It's
is,
not
yeah.
easy. But like you said before as well, we have internet connection, we have mobile phones. Things has changed so much over the last 10 years. So contact is easier. But at the same time, it's also sort of a journey of acceptance, right? Acceptance that you are in a different journey right now. You are exploring the world, maybe even exploring yourself, diving all around the world, versus your friends are in a different stage. And it's
Yeah.
important that everybody can choose their stage of life and everybody can
It is
follow their own
okay,
path.
yeah.
It's okay. And
Because we
I think,
we grow up with the idea that we need to do this and this and in this
yes,
order, and if you don't do it, then you are a failure, or maybe you
yeah,
feel like that, or people are telling
yeah,
you that. And I struggled with that a little bit because what am I doing here? I don't
yeah,
have anything. I don't, and maybe I should start something because I'm getting older. I'm not old, but we are getting older. And my friends are on such another path now, but I do my own. Like we all have our own life path, and you need to follow your own
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
because
And
they do miss me, and they say that, but they see that I'm so much more happy here, so that's all that matters.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it's just important to see and to understand that we have the freedom to follow that path, right? And we don't have to stay in the line of how society, how school, how we've been growing up. It's simple as that. It's like we are all being almost placed in boxes, right? We know to do this, and in the end, it's not for everybody. And I'm just very grateful for your journey and seeing you explore different possibilities and just following your heart. And as long as you're happy and your friends know that, your family knows that. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you. Well, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right.